All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the Scrum with Golden Glue. Believe we can only take questions in English at this time, so please use the Zoom hand raise feature to queue yourself in line for a question, and I will call on you, or you may type your question in chat to be read out loud. All right, first question from Doi Bao, Vietnam. After being eliminated by teams from minor regions like R7 and PSG, what do you think were some of the key factors behind these losses, and how do you plan to help the team bounce back from this disappointment next season?
What's the first part of that?
So what do you
Or the
think were
key
some of the key
factors
factors of losing?
loss. I mean, I think the key factors in the two losses were pretty separate. I think some of the key reasons why we didn't perform as well versus R7 were a lot due to nerves for a lot of our players. It's the first time playing at Worlds, and I think that we definitely could have closed out that game too versus R7. But I think one similarity that happened between both of our losses is that once we started losing, we weren't really able to bounce back that well. I think mentally, I think today as well. I think game one we made a couple early game mistakes that got us behind, and the game was pretty unplayable. And our PSG always kept the pressure on, and we didn't really. I feel like we didn't fully get out of game one when we went into game two. I feel like we carried some of that energy, didn't have the same high level of confidence that we did versus a team like SHG, for example.
Next question, Sons of KS.
Hello. I'm sorry for the loss today. Today, 100 Thieves and R7 were eliminated from Wars. What are your expectations for the next year with the unification of the leagues in the Americas?
I mean, I think this tournament created some hype. Obviously, like the games between NA and our games versus R7, and also even like Pain. Pain's games today were very exciting. So, if anything, I think it built hype and optimism for the incoming merger. And I was already pretty optimistic. I think it's going to be really fun for the fans, and it's going to be a cool new experience for the league itself. So, I'm definitely optimistic about the incoming change.
Okay, thank you so much.
Next question, Cloud Sidkey.
Hey, Golden Goose, sorry about the loss today. A lot of players, a lot of people have been pointing out to Tomo and Quid as not playing as well as they did in LCS to even beat Cloud9 and make it here. And I know a lot of people have been pointing to like stress or nervousness, being rookies. You kind of mentioned that. My question is like, what sort of things did you guys try to do to get them a little bit more comfortable? And did you see that actually working?
Yeah, that's a good question. I do think the thing, like, I think people have said that about both Quid and Tomo. I think, I think Tomo still has like growing pains from joining our team so late in the season, and like we were able to kind of have that, what should we call it? What's that phase called when you just join the team and everything's just happy? There's some phrase for it.
The honeymoon stage?
Yeah, honeymoon stage. I think we like kind of got past the honeymoon stage, and then we had to figure out all of our problems and work through those again. And I think for Quid, I think it's probably a little overplayed. I know, obviously he didn't have a good Vex game, but I think that Quid just I think he's still an extremely good player, and I think that, for example, for our matches today, I think game one was pretty unplayable for him because just the enemy team was winning. It had really nothing to do with mid. And I think for game two, like he was winning his lane, and obviously we just were kind of losing these 3v3s. We were getting caught off. Someone's getting caught off, and he's not really actually able to play the game. So I do think, to say Quid had like a really underwhelming performance or something, I think it's overplayed. And I do think we tried to put them on comfort picks when we could, to make them more comfortable in SH. Like we picked, Ziggs. Game two, he's very good at Hui. Game one, yesterday we picked Oriana and Ashe, and that's comfortable for both of them. But it's not easy to do that, get your comfort picks in every draft scenario. So I just try to do my best to do it, but it's kind of hard when you're drafting if you're making sure you get them on comfort every time.
Next question from Pedro Romero. Commiserations on the loss. And how do you look back at the team's showing for this entire Worlds? And what were some of the biggest positives and negatives that you saw throughout this event?
Good question. I mean, biggest positives, I guess, would see is how we were able to come back after a loss and perform how we did versus SHG. And that was kind of like, I think you could see the highlights of our team. We were obviously a little bit scrappy and a little sloppy, but very explosive with our gameplay. I think disappointing how we played today. I feel like we didn't really show up how we could have, and we could have made the games maybe a little bit scrappier and a little closer. A lot of times we were just getting picked off and not really getting to do the team fights and the team play. And I think positives is I do think the players are. It's 4 out of 5 of them first times at Worlds, and I think it was a really good experience for them. Also, for my first time as a head coach at Worlds, so I think it was a very positive experience for all of our growth.
Next question, Cloud Sidkey.
Yeah, thanks for. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I did want to touch on what you said about being a coach for the first time at the world stage. What do you say between games 1 and 2 when you see that you kind of get stomped and the team isn't playing the way that they should be in that situation? What do you say?
Yeah. So what I told them after today's first game, we have the VOD up in our little room, and I was trying to guys, don't look at the VOD. This is the mistakes we made in the early game. Let's move on. Our draft's going to be different. It's going to be a new game, fresh start, and just try. I tried as much as I could to try to get them onto the next page. And I think when you're playing a frustrating game like that for like 25, 30 minutes, and you can't really tell why you can't play the game, a lot of the players are very inquisitive, and they want to figure out what went wrong. Why couldn't we play the game? But that's not really important at the time. You have to get them to the next game. So maybe I could have done that even better, but that's what I was attempting to do.
All right, do we have a final question? Going once. Going twice. All right, thanks so much, Golden Glue.
Thank you.
Everyone, welcome to the Scrum with Maple. We will take questions in Chinese and in English. Please use the Zoom hand raise feature to queue yourself in line for a question, and I will call on you, or you may type your question in chat to be read out loud. First question, Sons of KS.
Hello, I'm Brishan from Sansekias, and congratulations for the victory today. Now that you have progressed to the Swiss stage, what are your throws to the teams that you might face, like Hanwha Life? And do you believe that the Swiss format could present an interest challenge for you?
那首先恭喜你们要进入瑞士轮。那进入瑞士轮，然后像是会遇到韩华那样子的强队嘛，然后可能还会遇到其他的队伍。然后你们有什么样的准备吗？
面对韩华的话，因为他们是非常强的队伍嘛，然后其实我们在面对就是非常强的队伍的时候，反而能够发挥的不错，所以希望能够展现出我们平常的表现。
So facing like Hanwha Life and other strong teams, I believe that we will perform better against strong teams. So we'll just take what we have and show it to you guys.
Okay, thank you so much.
Next question from Thoi Bao, Vietnam. Last time we interviewed you, you mentioned your goal was to finish top 8 or even win the championship. After today's clean 2-0 victory against 100 Thieves, how confident are you now that you can achieve that goal?
那上次采访的时候有提到说，你可能想要进8强，然后甚至是拿世界冠军。那今天干净的赢下2-0的话，你对自己有多大的信心能够达到那样的目标？
就今天拿下来是非常开心嘛，然后其实对整个团队，我觉得都是增加蛮多自信的嘛。那能不能走更远，其实就是还是看我们之后的表现，所以我希望我们能够尽力而为。
So of course we are really happy that we won today, and yes, it would add a lot more confidence to our team. As for if we are can we get to the goal we set it, we'll see how we're performing in later.
Next question from Hupu.
Okay.
They typed it.
Okay. Do I read it out
You
loud?
can read it, yeah.
Okay. 这里是虎扑电竞，恭喜晋级瑞士轮。然后大家都开玩笑说你们调整得很好，于是奖励你们一把 HLE。那对战到 HLE，认为需要关注的位置或者说重点是什么呢？还有瑞士轮里，你觉得最强的中单或想跟他交手的是谁？
面对韩华的话，其实他们中野很厉害吧。然后像贝卡的话，其实之前在 LPL 打过，但其实是蛮久之前的。那他现在也进步非常多。然后希望逮到他的时候，就是有机会再兑现一下他。
Okay, do we have any final question? Any final question? Okay, thank you.